looking to cut, but just getting an on the edge, and the keeper cleans up. And no run.
Yeah, I like the movement in the field, Asha, from the Jamaicans. It's pretty early in the game, but they're, definitely moving around, scurrying around, trying to save the ones, getting back into their positions pretty quickly.
Yeah, looks to be a disciplined outfit, the Jamaicans. As we see another ball passing the outside edge, looking to cut again was the young Zara Skerritt. And that dot ball completes the first over. After over number 1, the Leeward Islands on the 19 women 7 without loss.
Yeah, you remember Skerritt carrying her bat all through the innings yesterday, so let's hope she can, continue that same vein for the Leewards, as a matter of fact. I think she batted beautifully yesterday.
Most definitely, she was definitely the anchor and the backbone of the Leeward Islands innings yesterday, en route to their first innings total of 118 for 8, with Zara Skerritt scoring 32 not out off of about 56 deliveries, I believe, including 2 fours. And I think what would be important or an improvement on today's batting innings would be to rotate the strike a bit more, maybe reduce the amount of dot balls and get that strike rate just a little bit higher. But the plan definitely is to have a repeat dose of yesterday, batting through the innings, batting as long as possible and posting a good score.
Yeah, but we remember actually they lost a couple of quick wickets, so that would have had an effect on how they would have, gone about that innings yesterday. So let's hope that they don't lose quick wickets today.
Yes,
and then they could put up a better showing today.
So here we have number 72. Number 71, into the attack. Stated number 72 on the jersey, Navia Webley. And that's a good shot there by Inka Wilson, pulled into the leg side, a full toss, straying onto the pads, and they get back for 2 quite comfortably in the end. So it seems to be the same pitch used from the first game yesterday, and there are some runs in the pitch. There's some assistance there for the bowlers, all the makings of a well-prepared cricket wicket here at Ball Beef, Liberta.
Yeah, I had a look at the track yesterday afternoon late, and there wasn't much of a damage being done to it based on the games that we played on it.
I see Wembley in again, and the ball is up in the air. Oops! And there's a collision on the field between the mid-on and mid-wicket fielder, and hopefully everybody is okay. It was a foolish delivery by Webley, and Inka Wilson was looking to pull yet again into the leg side, not getting the connection she would have wanted, and the ball ballooned up, and it seems that the 2 fielders involved in the collision are down. Hopefully everybody's okay. The physio is coming out to have a look, making sure everyone is okay.
Well, she had to get there, and that's the job of the physios. It doesn't matter, the player is down, you need to get onto the field and sort it out. Doesn't matter which team you're here working for, the job is to get the job done. Make sure that everybody's okay and fit.
Yeah, most definitely.
So they're calling for ice, so there's someone, a little bit serious. Let's hope that is not really anything of great significance, Sasha.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, the players seem to be urging on the medical staff for ice. There seems to be some work being done on the leg of the player. We're not going to assume or speculate too early on. I'm sure we'll get some news about that later. But in the meantime, we'll take this time to just have a short chat with Mr. Joseph. Have you been following the CPL 2026, Mr. Joseph?
Yeah, not at all, Asha.
Not at all.
Pretty busy man. When night time comes, I've got to get into bed and get some rest. My day starts at 4 a.m. in the morning.
Wow.
Yeah, so, and I'm not a great fan of watching television, really.
I could understand the sentiment because the CPL does go on a little late into the night. It finishes around 10:30, 11 in the night, And in rain-affected matches, those could go a little longer, as we would have seen the match number 2 of the CPL, St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots taking on the Trinbago Knight Riders. The Trinbago Knight Riders won by 19 runs by the Duckworth-Lewis method, overhauling the St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots 109. Some difficult conditions to bat in under the lights in St. Vincent, but we're here at Ball Beef Liberta. We're in the sunshine. It looks like we're going to have a player
being taken
off by the physiotherapist, and she seems to be holding the left side of her face, so maybe a bit of an impact when colliding with the other player, and it may have affected her face. So number 14, Nicoya Green, she seems to be listed here as the wicket keeper, or a backup wicket keeper probably. Hopefully she's okay.
Yeah, let's hope she's not too serious and she can get back out on the field in a short order, Asha.
Yeah, most definitely.
Seems like the collision, she might have gotten a hit on the face by another player's head or something like that.
Yeah, they're gonna be treating her with a bit of ice. So hopefully,
seems like she has some sort of
maybe some swelling. Hopefully it's not too serious.
Swelling, or maybe seems like.
And we're back on field. We're gonna resume, and another shot. Zara Skerritt replicating one of Inca Wilson's, pulls into the leg side, fielded by the mid-on fielder for just one. So, Davija Brown and Nevia Webley opening the bowling. Webley not necessarily getting the radar right so far. 4 balls bowled and 3 full tosses. So, she's definitely looking to bowl a lot fuller than Brown, as we see Wilson pulling into the leg side, collected by the deep square leg fielder, 1 run. But yes, Mr. Joseph, the life of a farmer, I would say, is not an easy life at all. Waking up at 4 a.m. in the morning.
No, it's not easy. Sometimes I'm even up before 4 a.m. Depends on what's going to happen next morning.
And the no ball bowled by
and pulled away for 4
by Webley, and dealt with quite seriously by Zara Skerritt, pulled into the leg side, bailing the fine leg fielder for 4, and the umpire would have signaled no ball for over the waist.
Full toss over the waist.
So it could be a free hit signaled by the umpire. Yes, indeed. So a free hit for Zara Skerritt. Good shot by Zara Skerritt in the end.
Yeah, we were watching her yesterday, Asha. After this delivery, we'll talk. Shot.
Lovely shot there by Zara Skerritt. And this one is looking to be
collision
a brilliant save by the Jamaican fielders. And dead ball signaled by the umpire due to the collision
off the field.
Out on the cover sweeper boundary. Another collision here. Another collision here by the Jamaican fielders. I must admire the dedication of the fielders, but
well, she knows that she has to go because the other physio is a bit on the heavier side. So
yes, most definitely.
Good to see, though.
So good to see everybody taking great care of these young females. But at this pace, we're going to be out of substitute fielders for the Jamaican team. If another substitute fielder may have to come on, hoping that that's not the case.
Yeah, that looks a bit serious down there, Asha.
Yeah, most definitely the umpire signaling to give the young player some space.
Yeah, we're gonna need another substitute, huh?
Yeah, it's not looking good here. It's not looking good at all. But that doesn't take away from the beautiful scenes here out in what some would consider the green corridor of Antigua and Barbuda, out here in the country, out here in Liberta, Antigua. We've had some rain over the past few weeks, so lush greenery around, mango tree being laden. That reminds me of a lot, back in the day, climbing the trees, maybe in the backyard of a neighbor who may not have consented, but mangoes must be eaten at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, Mr. Joseph?
Yeah, those are the days.
Yeah, I've not seen a lot of young people doing that. They're not eating a lot of fruits, Mr. Joseph. Mangoes, dums, guineps, guavas. I'm not seeing a lot of that from the younger generation.
Well, you've probably changed your diet. They've gone on to different stuff. Yeah, so.
Yes, most definitely. I'm not going to name the diets, but some may say that it's very burger heavy, some would say. But yeah, back in the day, we used to eat a lot of fruits, get our hydration from coconut water.
Especially in the summer, Asha will be going around hunting all the fruits in the bushes, yeah.
Yeah,
as you said,
definitely.
the guineps, the mangoes, sugar apples, soursop, I'll tell you, Asha, when I used to play cricket, my breakfast was coming out of my mom's house and eating a soursop or sugar apple or a piece of cane or coconut, that kind of stuff. I never had like eggs and that sort of stuff. I never was a fan of eggs and the breakfast type stuff, really. So that sort of stuff, once you get close to the kitchen, for me, early in the morning is going to be an upset stomach for me. And I normally hang out on the food side of it.
Yeah, so a light breakfast followed by a heavy lunch.
Yeah, sometimes you don't get lunch once you're playing cricket either.
Oh,
if you're
boy.
batting, you're not gonna eat.
No,
So
I
then-
have to disagree. As a young batsman, coming up at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I have to eat that lunch.
I'm telling you what I used to do. So you get down to lunch, you're batting, or you're close to getting into the wicket to bat, you're not gonna eat.
Oh,
And
so-
you go down to tea again, and you're in the wicket or you're close to be batting, you're still not gonna eat. And you say, wow, gone the whole day without food.
Most definitely, especially when you've come up on tea and you're nearing 100, you're not going to want to eat to weigh down the body. You're focusing on that 100 or that half century. But
Yeah, even sometimes up to today now, I still do it, Asha. Sometimes I find myself down at 3:30, 4 o'clock. I say, what? I haven't eaten anything for the day. So it goes like that sometimes.
I tend to disagree, but we can agree to disagree.
No, I'm telling you what I used to do and what I do. But
Yeah, boy.
it's all, personal thing for me. Sometimes I just don't eat. Sometimes people may ask you, how you get so big? But then it's just natural. Sometimes I go for a whole day without food,
Wow.
just drinking water.
Wow, that's what a healthy diet does, especially hard work. You're focused on your work. You're content. You're satisfied with the day's work. But it seems to not be a serious injury. As Brown is continuing, and a lovely pull shot there, straight to the fielder and
Dropped in the
dropped.
mid-wicket.
And the mid-wicket boundary, they scamper through for a single. That ball was pulled with some venom. And the number 7 fielder is fielding at the mid-wicket position. Daniel Baugh, the captain, that dropped that catch. But that was hit with some venom, Dave.
Yes, he's shaking her hands. Hope she's not serious because, as you said, Jamaican look to be running out of emergency fieldsmen.
Yeah, most definitely. As we say in Antigua and Barbuda, you can't attempt to catch a bullet. So that was hit with some power by the young batsman, Inca Wilson. But Brown just looking to find that line and length. In T20 cricket, length is very important. So she's looking to find that 5-meter length there. A bit fuller and driven beautifully down to the mid-off fielder. And it's misfielded where they're able to come back 2-2 very comfortably.
Asha, we need to go back to this young lady, Skerritt. She's pretty competent. I was watching her since yesterday. She's actually the wicket keeper for the Leewards, and she kept wicket well yesterday. And I watched her. She was actually marshalling the troops, setting the fields and moving around and maneuvering the players. I thought she did a real heck of a job yesterday.
Yeah, maybe that innings would have carried over some confidence into the wicket keeping, and just urging the players on, encouraging the fielders, encouraging the bowlers, and that's what is needed. When you're up, you stay up. So that she's taking that into today as well. She's driving beautifully. She's picking the length quickly, coming forward, getting back. So hopefully that means that there's a big innings on the cards for her.
Yeah, she also runs well between the wicket, Asha. So that's a very good all-round cricketer. So he's one for the future.
Yes,
young
most
Skerritt.
definitely. So a pretty good opening partnership so far for the Leeward Islands. Just shy of 3 overs. Brown continuing. And that's well bowled by Brown. She's found the length there beautifully, just outside the off stump. And a bit too close to cut for Zara Skerritt. But that completes the 3rd over after 3 overs. Halfway through the power play, the Leeward Islands 22 without loss. I must say this is a good start here by the Leeward Islands. Current run rate looking to be 7.3 runs and over. Projected score of just shy of 150. As we see, it looks to be a change in bowling.
I think the opening bowler didn't really get it right to start with. So, as I said, the Jamaican captain doing the right thing, not waiting too long to make a change and make a decision. They have pulled her out, and hopefully she can come back a bit later.
Yeah, so we have a change in bowler. We're going to see our first introduction of spin here. Shashane Ricketts in from the pavilion end. And I must say, it's noteworthy. What's the word I'm looking for here? I want to be politically correct. The diversity of names in our current generation. I mean, your generation has a lot of Hyacinths and Jennifers and Marys, and now we're at Samiras and Navias. So, I mean, it's really unique and something to behold. I must say these are some pretty names here, but a far cry from the names of yesteryear. As we see, a beautiful delivery flighted by Shashane Ricketts on the pads.
Looks
not
like
being able to
right
put
arm
them
leg
away.
spin, Asha.
Yes, right arm leg spin indeed. Lovely flighted delivery.
Again, right down your alley. You used to do that, Asha, when you were younger.
Yeah, as a former leg spinner. I'm not gonna say current at all.
Ooh.
Her first 2 balls, she started well, looking to get it up, forcing the batsman onto the front foot, but it seems like the batsman Wilson is comfortable in playing the ball off of the back foot, but maybe a bit dangerous as it's a new ball. It's going to slide on. It's not going to turn as much. As we see Inca Wilson working that ball around the corner to the 45 fielding position, but they're not bowling with a 45. They're bowling with a deep square leg and a deep mid wicket, so they scamper through for a single. But I do think this may be a good move by the Jamaica female under 19s, introducing a spinner early, maybe to stem the flow of runs, slide on the ball a bit.
Yeah, not a bad move, Asha. I think even since in my day, Leewards would be very suspect to spin, that they'll say around the whole Caribbean, but we have proved to be better than they thought in some respects in terms of spin.
Yeah, no ball called by the umpire. Just
free hit again.
Gripping that a bit too tight in the hands is the young Ricketts. So a free hit signaled for Zara Skerritt. Let's see what she does with that one. And she goes for the big swing over mid-wicket. Doesn't get any connection on that one. Just looking to hit that one a bit too hard, but I don't fault her at all. It's a free hit, so she has the license to go hard. But well bowled so far by Ricketts. She's getting the ball up, and that's caught at the extra cover fielder. And Zara Skerritt has to go, not being able to replicate her efforts of yesterday batting through the innings. That was well bowled, a very good length delivery. In between, she was uncertain whether to go forward and go back, and she chose to go back and try and cut the ball. But the extra bounce of the new ball would have caught her off guard, and she has to go for 10.
Yeah, well caught in the covers there by the young Jamaican. I think that one was struck pretty firm to Asha. As I said, it was a ball that was not short enough for really a pull, but she chose to play that shot, and to a demise she has to go.
She's getting the ball up, and that's caught at the extra cover fielder. And Zara Skerritt has to go, not being able to replicate her efforts of yesterday batting in the early proceedings. I mean, that would have led to her downfall. But nonetheless, the Jamaica on the 19s have taken their first wicket on the last ball of the fourth over. After 4 overs, the Leewards on the 19 women 24 for 1. And in at number 3 is Lewis George. Lewis George would have had a quiet innings with the bat in the previous match.
Yeah, as you said, Asha, spin has done the trick for Jamaica. Has gotten the breakthrough for them.
Yeah, most definitely. And I think this is
and there's actually another spin being introduced from the far end.
Yes, most definitely. I mean, Lewis George batting at number 3, scoring 4 in the previous game against the Windward Islands women. So it's a dual change. Captain Adanya Baugh coming in from the opposite end. So there's going to be spin from both ends for the Jamaica on the 19 women. And she's in. First ball down the leg side, looking to pull is Inka Wilson. And the keeper missed that one. Run signal by the umpire. Well, there's no signal, so that would infer that there are runs to Inka Wilson. But this points to a broader issue that we have here in the Leeward Islands. We seem to have a bit of a problem with playing spin as of late. What are your thoughts, Dave?
Yeah, well, it's just that we're not being exposed to that, that amount and that quality spin bowlers. So that's something we need to look at, and it's been a problem for a long while.
Yes, as we see Adanya Baugh going past the outside edge of Lewis George. Again, they're looking to play back. I'm not too certain with this tactic by the young batsman. I mean, the first thing that you should do for spin is to come forward.
Well, everybody will approach it, differently, Asha. I guess you will approach it to where you think is best for you.
Yeah, good shot.
That's how they're seeing it, playing it on the back foot. And most of these young players, the pull shot is going to be the easier shot for them. So, and that shot is being played off the back foot. So, very few of them you're going to see coming forward and driving. That one was a drive, but yes, still the front foot wasn't coming out with Asha.
Agreed. That was almost a half volley there.
I think they'll get it. As they go on, keep practicing, keep working at their craft. The coaches will have to put in some more work. Pull away again.
And she's got this one a lot finer is Wilson, and she's going to get 4 for it. Good shot there by Inka Wilson. The ball not as short, but because it's spin, you have a bit more time to get back. And she placed that beautifully just to the left of the short fine leg fielder. So 4 runs, Leeward Islands up to 30.
Yeah, it's 4 beautiful runs. I think Wilson plays the shot pretty well. She's been playing a lot of pulls all morning. So as I said, she's playing to her strengths. It's wide.
wide signal by the umpire, or very own female umpire, Melissa Laurie, with square leg umpire Felix August. So 2 Antiguans officiating today's game, as we see a Daniel ball in again. So a thick outside edge for Louis George, as the strike is rotated yet again. And that concludes the 5th over, a single. So the Leeward Islands, after 5 overs, 33 for 1, with 1 more over in the power play. They've had a good power play so far, I would think, Mr. Joseph. Scoring at just around 6.5 runs and over.
Yeah,
so what do you think about this?
Not bad at all. I think Jamaicans has managed to keep them on the check though, because quite a bit of runs has been scored, but from mainly bad deliveries. But they've managed to bring introduce the spin, and they've pegged them back a bit.
So as a former open top order batsman as well as a captain, how would you be ringing the changes now in the T20 game? As we see a ball pulled into the leg side, Louis George, and she's gone
in mid wicket.
Yeah, she's caught at mid wicket. That's a lovely catch there by the fielder. She moved beautifully to her left, to her right, sorry, with outstretched arms, keeping the head still, the hands steady, and completing the catch of Louis George. She has to go for 2 runs. That's not what the Leeward Islands would have wanted. They would have loved to have finished the power play without losing a wicket. But how would you be ringing the changes now mid-wicket fielder in the T20 game? As we see a ball pulled into the leg side, Louis George, and she's gone.
30 yard for 2, and that lets in the captain for the Leewards. Yeah, she looks a pretty competent, batter from what we saw yesterday. So, as I said, they're probably in the same position that they were in yesterday, just around the power play stage. 30 yard runs for 2 wickets.
Yes, most definitely. I mean, this is just about the same position that they were yesterday. And what they would not want to happen or repeat of yesterday is to have that middle order collapse. So the one opening batsman would have to bat through this innings today. I mean, it was Zara Skerritt yesterday, and Inka Wilson has already gotten a start, 16 off of 14. So she will have to do the job of anchoring the innings, her along with Captain Alia Weeks, who's coming in at number 4.
Yeah, so Weeks will face the young leg spinner. And she's forward in defense.
Yes, as we would have been saying yesterday, and we're going to say it here again today, she seems to be the best of the batsmen so far in how she's approached the game, her and Zara Skerritt. And we've now seen a bit more of Inka Wilson. But seems to be a solid top order coming forward very competently, very solid in defense is Alia Weeks. Seems to me that her positivity, her shot selection, just to be that bit above the rest of the batsmen that we've seen so far.
Yeah, it is, Asha. Most definitely. Well played. Forward in defense. Well bowled by the young Jamaican leg spinner.
Yes, Sashane Ricketts.
Straight.
Yeah, she's very
accurate.
Very accurate so far.
Yeah, forcing the batsman to play. It's just coming, so you need to have a plane very early.
Yeah, this is brilliant leg spin bowling here, especially within the power play, not having the protection of 4 fielders outside, only 2, but the ball is not leaving the square.
Yeah, she's managed to keep the wickets and stumps in play.
Yeah, this is lovely bowling here by Sashane Ricketts, and that, I think, is a wicket maiden. A wicket off the first ball of the over for Sashane Ricketts. Louis George caught and all dot balls to finish, so very, very well bowled by Sashane Ricketts. 2 overs, 1 maiden, 2 wickets for 2 runs. That's a good return out of the power play.
Yeah, so we'll see how they go about it now. I haven't gotten out of the power play. We see some feeling changes being implemented already. So Jamaica is going to protect the whole leg side, Asha. You've got a long on, mid wicket, deep backward square.
Yeah,
I
it
think we
seems.
have in a reintroduction of the player who got injured.
Yeah, it seems like it,
Yeah, so
Dave. But I agree with you now that the power play is over. They seems to be strengthening the leg side, protecting the leg side field. So they've become aware of the young batsman Wilson. Daniel Ball continuing, and I think they would have recognized that Inca Wilson she favors the pull shot, so they would have sent out deep mid wicket and deep square leg. But I think that Adania Bar has other plans to bowl a bit fuller, force her to come on the front foot. She doesn't seem as comfortable with that.
yeah, she's definitely not looking to come on that front foot at all. She's staying hanging back a bit. So the fuller you bowl is going to be better to her. Not allowing her to go and pull.
An appeal, maybe not as confident, but an appeal nonetheless from Adania Bar for an LBW. Again, Inca Wilson looking to pull, but that's a bit too full to pull in my opinion. But this is going to be a challenge here for the young Inca Wilson. And that struck firmly down the ground to the long on fielder by Inca Wilson. A full toss by Daniel Ball. Collected quite comfortably by the long on fielder. Only one.
Yeah, well, Wilson will just need to bat, Asha. There are lots of runs out there. Tick it around, as you say, work it around. I'm not sure how well they can do that. It's left to be seen. But she'll just have to bat and try to bat through the innings, which will, do well for the Leewards if she bats, quite a few more overs.
Yeah, looking to cash in was Alia Skerritt. Full and flighted outside the line of.
Skerritt, Asha, is the captain. Weeks, yeah. Skerritt has gone.
Well bowled again by Adania Ball. Just negotiated down the ground by Alia Weeks for a single. Yeah, this is going to be a tough ask for Inca Wilson. She's reluctant to come onto the front foot, isn't she? And she's going to have to work it out and work it out quickly to be able to negotiate those fuller deliveries. But after 7 overs, the Leeward Islands 35 for 2. They're going to have to rotate the strike in these middle overs now that the fielders are out, and not soak up too many dot balls because that's going to build pressure.
Yeah, you will hope that Captain Weeks will, have a chat with her, just ask her, urge her to come on the front foot, try to come on the front foot and play some of the shots from the front foot. I don't know if she's capable of that. We haven't seen that from her all day, but she'll need to come on the front foot because the balls are going to be a bit fuller, swept away.
So Ricketts continuing, and a lovely sweep shot. She
Well
got
fielded.
into position well. Alia Weeks. She seems to have all the shots. We've seen her drive, we've seen her pull in the last few games.
Yeah, well, it's nice to see her playing that shot, Asha, because we don't even see the men's playing that sweep shot very often these days, and that's a very good shot to play, especially against spin.
Most definitely, and that sweep shot has prompted a change in field. Square leg guns out deep onto the boundary, and she sweeps again. Alia Weeks out into the leg side field, collected by the deep square leg fielder, 1 run. But I must say that we do have an issue here in the Caribbean playing spin, and I don't want to blow it out of proportion, but it seems that we're content in allowing the spinners to bowl to us as opposed to being proactive and looking to rotate the strike against spin bowlers. What are your thoughts on that, Mr. Joseph?
Yeah, I would not support that comment just now from our that we can't play spin. It's just the approach that we're using to spin. I'll tell you a few things actually about spin. When I started first at the youth level, I played against Trinidad. There's a gentleman by the name of Danraj, Ginger Danraj. First time I played against him, actually, I got 2 knots in Jamaica. That was 80, I think 86, no, 87 in Jamaica, his youth tournament. That was Northern Telecom. So I got back home and I had a chat with my coach. I said, look, I need to be able to bat, learn to bat this spin better than I'm batting. Just study out there. So we started doing some work. Pulled away again, Asha, into the mid-wicket region. There's protection there for the Jamaicans. Just a single.
Yeah, half stop there by the short mid-wicket fielder. But so
after we did that, bit of work in terms of in the nets and stuff like that, the next year I played against Danraj, I got 80 yard. And from there on, I started to learn that the approach you've got to use to spin, as you rightfully said, don't allow them to dictate. You've got to get them on their back foots, put the pressure onto them, and let them always be under pressure. You understand? And I learned that from a very early age. And my good friend here will tell you, whenever I'm in the wicket up against Trinidad, Danraj wouldn't be able to get any bowling because I'm going to go after him. You understand? I've managed to watch him, see Lara, captain him, and whenever I'm in the wicket, he doesn't get the ball. You understand? And that's the sort of thing you've got to be aggressive with spinners. You understand? Not overly aggressive, but you've got to have control aggression. And whenever they give you a chance to get at them, you need to get at them. You understand? And the sweep shot is a very good shot to play to a spinner, as a matter of fact, whichever one, leg spinner or off spinners. You understand? When you sweep them from good lengths, actually they'll tend to want to change the length, and even the lines too. And even though they're in a good length or good line, they will want to change because they've been hit for runs.
Agreed. As we see Adania Ball continuing for her third over from the police station end. 39 for 2, the Leewards. Inca Wilson 19 not out. But I do agree with you, Mr. Joseph. I've had the opportunity of bowling to a batsman that's a brilliant shot by Inca
well
Wilson.
Fielded in mid-wicket though.
She hit that really hard, did Inca Wilson. Well stopped by the deep mid-wicket, the short mid-wicket fielder. But this is very restrictive bowling here by the Jamaican under-19s after getting off to a relatively quick start. The Leeward Islands under-19 scoring at about 7 runs and over in the first 3 overs. The spin duo of Adania Barr and Shane Ricketts has brought that run rate all the way down to just 4.5. And the pressure has told
another wicket
for
goes.
Inca Wilson. There's too many dot balls being soaked up, and the pressure would have gotten to her to score, and that forced her onto the front foot where she's not as comfortable, and she spooned the ball to the extra cover fielder. Well caught. It was above the head, so you would have to reverse cup. So Inca Wilson has to go. The 2 opening batsmen back in the shed. Inca Wilson goes for 19, and the Leeward Islands women 39 for 3.
What's interesting actually, see the Jamaicans, they're bowling to their field, and I think we've seen them put down 1 or 2 catches for the morning, but for the better part of the morning they've taken the catches that have come to them. Yes, we were on the topic of spin. Actually, I'll tell you one other thing about spin. To play spin, I would like to think you should have some degree of power. So once you're given a chance to hit that ball, you'll definitely have to, put it away.
Most definitely. We see here Ja'Kezia Smitten facing up to Adania Ball. In at number 5 is Jakatia Smitten. But I do agree with you, Mr. Joseph. And Smitten is on the back foot again. The ball is a bit too full to be playing off of the back foot, and they just seem to be a bit too comfortable playing off the back foot. I don't think they're judging the length very well, but I think that they need to come forward. They need to practice that, and it's a competitive game of cricket, so they can't be practicing that in the game, as we see some confusion between the two. The captain calling through Alia Weeks for a single, and she was hesitant at first, and they get through comfortably in the end, and that's the end of the 9th over. The Leeward Islands 40 for 3. I do think it's important at this point in time that they rotate the strike, try and get the singles when the singles are offered. There doesn't need to be any big shots at this stage of the game. There's the middle overs, but just back to our point about playing spin, I've had the great privilege of bowling to some players who are very proficient in spin, the likes of Joe Root and Rohit Sharma as a leg spinner, as a net bowler when they would have toured the Caribbean. And I must say, playing spin really is an art form. Being able to judge the length quickly and sweeping is very important, as we see Sashane Ricketts bowling her 4th and final over. She's had brilliant figures so far: 3 overs, 1 maiden, 2 for 7, bowling a wide, but nonetheless doesn't take away from how consistent she's been so far. And just leaving alone is Jakasia Smitten. This is not, I don't think that this may be the right approach. I think they need to be looking for the singles at this point in time. Do not allow Ricketts to dictate proceedings currently. She's bowled 3 dot balls on the trot soap. Well, 2 dot balls on the trot soap far in this over. And she's bowled really well. She's bowled with a lot of control, especially in the youth cricket. Leg spin is typically a difficult art form to master. As she's in a flighty delivery, well bowled by Ricketts. Looking to pull was Jakasia Smitten, not connecting. By signaled by the umpire. She could be a bit more clean behind the stumps, is the wicket keeper for the Jamaica under 19 team. But in again coming forward is Alia Weeks. This has been a lovely spell of bowling here by both Sashane Ricketts and Daniel Baugh. They've come on and restricted the Leeward Islands. And Alia Weeks is sweeping into the fine leg region only for 1. Collected quite comfortably by the deep square leg fielder. So spin. Back on, it seems that the 4th umpire for today's game, Donald Shekels, just getting in position, as there might be a drinks break shortly. And very well bowled by Sashane Ricketts. A dot ball to end her spell. And what wonderful figures they are. Commendable returns for Sashane Ricketts. 4 overs, 1 maiden, 2 wickets and 8 runs. Beautiful bowling, and that would have included a wicket maiden in her 2nd over. They're going to take a short drinks break here, and a deserved drinks break for the Jamaica under 19 women. After 10 overs, the Leeward Islands under 19 43 for 3, and a projected score of only 86, so they're going to have to pick it up in the 2nd half of the innings. They may be targeting 120 as per their last game, but we're going to take a short break, and then we'll be right back with more coverage of the Cricket West Indies Rising Stars Women's Under 19 Championship 2026. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back here at Ball Beef, Liberta, St. Paul, Antigua and Barbuda for your coverage of the cricket West Indies Rising Stars Women's Under 19 Championship 2026. Match number 4 between the Leeward Islands Under 19s versus the Jamaica Under 19s. The Leeward Islands in a spot of bother here at the halfway point of the innings. They're 43 for 3, with Alia Weeks, the captain, not out in 4, and Ja'Kezia Smitten not out without scoring. We see a reintroduction of pace, Navia Webley, and she is returned with a wide down the leg side. And we're back again. The spin has really put the brakes on the innings of the Leeward Islands Under 19 women, and they're going to look to recover now in the second half. That's well bowled, good comeback by Navia Webley. They seem to be bowling to a plan, bowling to their field. Nobody out on the offside boundary. 3 fielders out on the leg side, the deep mid wicket, deep square leg, and deep fine leg.
Yeah, I think Asha, the pace has been reintroduced again, and Leewards need to rotate the strike as they've been, alluding to early on. They definitely need to get some singles somewhere. But we've got 2 close fielders in, one at extra cover and one at mid wicket, so that's going to cramp their style in terms of getting the. But they'll have to find a way to get singles and rotate that strike. You can't look for all boundaries.
Most definitely. Again, well bowled by Navia Webley. The dot balls mounting.
Yeah, I think the Jamaicans has actually settled down into a good slot. They're bowling pretty straight at the wickets, keeping the stumps in play. Yeah, that's a good shot down the ground by Weeks. A couple of bounces into the ropes.
Lovely shot there by Alia Weeks. She definitely prefers the pace, being able to swing through the line quite comfortably, back down the ground past the bowler for 4. Beautiful shot. Alia Weeks moves on to 8. 2 shy of the team 50 is the Leeward Islands. Webley in again, finding the outside edge is Webley, well bowled, and they scamper through for a single is Alia Weeks, moving on to 9.
Yeah, I think Asha, the young Jamaican wicketkeeper, is good to see her standing up to medium pacers. That all goes well for wicket keeping in women's cricket.
So yeah, the Ja'Kezia Smitten is going to have to try to get off the mark here and support our captain. Dead ball signaled by the umpire. I believe that
struck the bails off in delivery just now.
Yeah, most definitely a hand would have struck the
Clipped
stump.
the stumps.
Yeah, so lovely day out here in Ball Beef, Liberta. The sun is out. The clouds are passing by, a bit overcast, but nothing to be worried about. There's a nice cool breeze coming across the grounds. So lovely conditions for cricket. Mr. Joseph?
Not too sure about that in terms of the weather. I think we see 2 tropical depressions heading our way. You need to check your weather, Asha, before you get here. Yeah. You had a look at it this morning. And even last night. So there are 2 depressions heading our way, tropical depressions. I don't know if they'll turn north. Or Yeah, so yes,
So
it's
a
a
lot
threat
of rain
that.
coming our way in the next week.
Well, it's not going to be good for the cricket, but for me as a farmer,
It'd be lovely.
it will be lovely to have some showers. But let's hope we get a break
It's not
for the
going to be
cricket,
lovely for me
and
at
then
all.
after the cricket, we can have some showers.
Because that means I'm going to have to go and cut some grass when I reach home. Oh, my word.
Yeah, so a lot of the people with their lawns wouldn't be too happy.
Not at all, because the grass is growing quickly.
Yeah, heading back into
You need
spending
to
some
cut
money.
grass from my yard, Mr.
Well,
Joseph,
you can always
because
cut it and then deliver it to Miasha, not a problem.
I don't have not one mode of transportation that can deliver any grass. But, you know, I can bale it up and put it outside for you and you can come collect it if you want. But murder.
Yeah, sure, we have a lot of transportation around freely. We have donkeys that you young guys are not even utilizing these days.
No, we don't utilize that mode of transportation anymore,
Well,
I
you
must
need
admit. We need to.
Yeah,
Those days substituted for bicycles.
it's
so.
one of the cleanest modes of transportation.
I agree. I do agree. But
So if we're going green,
but I like with all transportation, it requires some level of maintenance, and I'm not sure. I'd like the downtime required for feeding for a donkey when I can just get on a bicycle and ride, go down the road and come back. You know.
I'll tell you, you won't have much in terms of maintenance to do. And also, if you have 6 of them, it's easier. You use one today, another one tomorrow, and it makes it even easier for you. Asha.
Yeah, you have multiple modes of transportation. One car for every day.
That's right.
My word.
And it will be less maintenance.
So always in tip-top shape.
And less maintenance on each one.
Oh, Lord. Well, I do see that out in the country, you know, when you go to Bethesda and Willie Keys, a lot of people riding donkeys and horses. As we see Alia Weeks going down the ground, reintroduced into the attack is not reintroduced, this is a new bowler, Shamara Hall, into the attack.
I think what we need to see happening, Asha, from especially the Leewards women, from what we've seen so far, they need to be putting the balls on the ground. Too many balls have been struck in the air, and then it results in, catches being taken and wickets being lost.
Well, I do think that is the pressure aspect of batting in the shortest format of the game. That they're looking to score boundaries to get themselves out of trouble for soaking up dot balls. But I do think what would help is that when I was younger and you were a coach, we would play this game where if you're batting in practice, you can't face 3 dot balls in a row. And I think that may be something that we would have to look back into, make the cricket a bit more fun,
Yeah, it's going to take.
And it teaches good fundamentals.
Shot. That's a good shot.
Yes, lovely shot there by Alia Weeks. She favors the pace, and we've seen that here, working that ball into the leg side past the fine leg field, almost a sweep, getting down on one
Half
knee.
sweep, half pull.
Yeah, most definitely, and it's working.
It's good to see her, she has, as you said earlier on, she has quite a few shots.
Well, my good friend here said that, when a bowler bowls 3 good balls, you have to respect it. But I believe you could score off of any ball if you're good enough as a batsman. What do you say, Mr. Joseph? If you're good enough, you could score off of anything.
If you're good enough, but you also remember you're not bowling to yourself. So I'll want to support our technician.
I stand to disagree. When you look at it, if
Not
a bowler
a problem for you to be
delivery.
Not a problem for you to be disagreeing, Asha, but I'm saying to you, just remember that you're not bowling to yourself. I will normally tell my young players, when you're throwing up the ball and hitting it for yourself, then you can do anything you want because you know what's coming.
Most
so
definitely.
that thought that you have to think about what's coming takes away a few seconds off what you'd want to do, Asha, and that's what creates a problem for you as a batter.
Most definitely.
It's really a good effort for you to look to score off each ball, but sometimes it doesn't work that way. And sometimes you've got to back yourself. When I used to play, I used to back myself. If I bat 3 dot balls, I know I can hit a 6 and pick back up the scoring rate again whenever I get that opportunity. So again, I say
that's the mental and strategic
right,
part
and
of cricket.
power is a good thing in cricket and in batting. The problem we have in the Caribbean and the West Indies now, we've got lots of players without any power at all.
See, but then what would you wait before we continue our conversation? After 12 overs, the Leeward Islands 54 for three. Shamara Hall completing her over, and Nevia Webley continuing on. But I would argue that that we in the Caribbean we may rely too much on power and not enough on dexterity and placement.
How do you determine that, Asha? Tell me.
Well, as we would have seen in recent times with
In T20.
well,
But when we get into Test cricket, when you have the spinners on, what do? So don't tell me we rely on
Well,
power.
well,
We don't see the power coming out at all.
well,
when it gets to Test cricket.
In Test match cricket, I do think that there's some level of finesse required and a level of technique that we do tend to have, but we don't apply in pressure situations, especially when it comes to spin bowling, because we tend to defend and let the spin bowler dictate terms. When you look at top test playing nations like Australia and India, they don't necessarily attack, but they do become proactive against the spin. So they tend to dance down the wicket, upset the bowler's line and length, and then they come back, they sweep, they cut. We tend to be comfortable just playing it out. And I understand what you mean, but I don't think that's a power game. I think that's just a lack of proactivity with our batsmen.
Ooh. Yeah, that was a good delivery there, Asha, by the Jamaican pacer.
Yes, a confident appeal by the Jamaican under-19s. Nevia Webley has found a line and length in a change of ends.
And I'm rather liking the wicket keeper. She's standing up and she's doing a pretty good job at it, standing up to the stumps.
Forcing the batsman to stay.
Lots of confidence, yeah.
Another loud appeal by the Jamaican under-19 women. No, says umpire Laurie. Again, looking to pull into the leg side is Jacazia Smithen. And she's going to have to get a move on here. 13 overs gone. Well, at the end of this over, it was 13 overs. And she's soaked up quite a bit of dot balls.
Pull away.
She's scored so far 2 off of 14. So you're going to have to get a move on here. But what could you think? Because I do believe that if power is necessary in the test arena, especially against spin,
what I can tell you, Asha,
are you referring to the fact that we should be able to step and hit from a stationary position, or do you believe it's a bit more functional in that you have to be able to judge length and be able to negotiate the length a bit more competently? Because I do believe to some extent that we allow the bowler to do what they want, but I don't think power is the answer. I think it's a situation where we need to develop the skills to negotiate spin, in that we learn to sweep, we learn to chip. Don't be afraid to chip, because a lot of people, I don't think, and when I mean chip, I mean like advancing down the wicket. I don't think a lot of that happens with West Indian cricketers nowadays.
Yeah, but when I say power, Asha, I'm not telling you to go and try to strike every ball out of the ground. You can chip, get to the pitch, hit the ball hard on the ground. I used to play with a guy they call Keith Atherton, and I'll tell you, when he chips and drives,
From
nobody moves. Yeah.
Okay, yes.
Once he
correct.
gets it in the gap, nobody moves. So power don't necessarily mean in the air, but you have got to. I'll tell you, spin bowlers, the sound of the ball on the bat sends a message to bowlers. So.
Yes, most definitely. But I was one of those spin bowlers that encourages it. If you can hit my ball hard 3 times in a row, because I guarantee you're going to edge one.
You guarantee?
Yeah, I can guarantee that. I can guarantee that.
How many wickets did you get?
I mean, I would consider that I was quite prolific as a wicket taker back in my day.
I don't know. I'm just asking what number of wickets did you get?
Back in my day, it was relatively good enough. Average 2-3 wickets per game. That's all that's required from her.
2-3.
Yeah, 2-3 per game.
No fifers.
Yeah, a few fifers in there, but that comes with time.
Very rare you get a fifer though.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. Yeah, three. But
right.
that's not what's required, because at the end of the day, I come out with 5 wickets down. So it's only get out the middle or the batsman, the pace bowlers come and sweep up the tail. We get off the field. So, I mean,
strange enough, I heard a interview the other day with Joel Garner. He said he used to do the donkey work for the West Indies.
Big Bird, as he
Yeah.
affectionately known, Joel Gardner.
And then he didn't have many fifers. But then somebody drew it to his attention and said to him, "You're bowling well. You don't see what's happening? You bowl hard, you bowl well for long periods, and then the other bowlers come on and clean up the tail. So he will get the top line batsman out and bowl long spells, and then the Marshalls and the Holdings will come back and clean up the tail. They get fifers." So he said to his captain after a while, "No, I'm going to continue." So you needed to, be proactive and said to your captain, "I'm going to keep going."
But that's very interesting that you've made mention of fast bowlers bowling long spells. How do you see? What is your views on workload management amongst fast bowlers in today's cricket as opposed to earlier on, especially in your generation where bowlers tend to bowl long spells? They used to play back-to-back test matches. So what do you think the reason could be is now why fast bowlers tend not to have the same durability as before?
That's a good 2 runs there just now, Asha, by the Leewards. Ball being pulled into the mid-wicket region. And they hustle and scamper through for 2. So I'll tell you about this. Maybe I'll make a statement that you may not like, Asha. I want to ask you a few questions. Do the Australians manage their workload?
Currently?
No, I'm asking. I don't know.
I mean,
Currently, even before.
Well, I do believe to an extent they rotate their bowlers a lot differently to your generation, because I would watch old cricket
To
highlights.
my generation?
Yeah, your old cricket highlights. I would see the
Hold
likes of-
a second. Let
I'm
me
listening.
tell you this.
I'm
I
listening.
played in a test match, right? Where McGrath was bowling in Barbados. And Steve Waugh gave him 1 over break. Yeah, one over break. And he went down to fine leg and Lara cut loose that very over after. And Steve Waugh gave him the signal to come back. I saw him bowl for the whole day, non-stop. You understand? And he didn't bowl with less pace. He bowled with accuracy. So I don't know what you're talking about when you're talking about in my day. Because these guys work hard.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm referring to. The likes of Glenn McGrath being Australia's workhorse. You don't necessarily see a lot of that today in 2026 because you would have the 3 premier fast bowlers from Australia currently. They rotate in spells of 4 to 7 overs. You very rarely see fast bowlers nowadays bowl in excess of 10 overs in a test match consecutively. So I just like to understand what's the difference now between.
It's just that you guys these days are weaker. It's just plain and simple, Asha.
I mean,
Sometimes I'll tell you, I played in a team with the Leewards having 4 or 5 fast bowlers. You're talking about Benjamin, Ambrose, Baptist, Hamish, Anthony. And these guys would cry to have the ball in their hand. Because if you don't get wickets, Asha, how are you going to stay in the team? If you're not bowling, how are you going to take wickets? So these guys around here need to, get that sort of power to be able to bowl in 10 overs, and that kind of stuff. Even 15 if you want.
so do you think it's the food?
I'm not telling you it's the food because they're all foods there and we had all the food since my time. But it's just what you choose to eat. I don't know. And again, I'll talk about the fitness level of these guys that we have these days. You need to be fit to be able to stay out there in that field, run in and bowl for long periods.
I do agree. Fitness is really important in any aspect of cricket, batting, bowling, or fielding. And I kind of understand your viewpoint that back then, we had a plethora of fast bowlers bowling long spells. The cricket was a lot more competitive back in the day, especially in the West Indies. But what do you think that at this point that the pitches may have anything to do with it? Or do you consider the pitches of today as good as the pitches of yesteryear?
I don't think the pitches had anything to do with it, Asha, at all. Because we're seeing games being, finished in 3 days. So what are you saying? the pitches are not suiting the bowlers, or
Lovely shot there, and that goes all the way
Wow.
for 6 by Alia Weeks, getting down on one knee and swinging that ball over fine leg for 6 runs, the first 6 of the match. Lovely shot by Alia Weeks.
I think it's the first 6 of the tournament that we've seen here, Asha.
You may be right. You may be right. That is the
Maybe
first
your-
6 that
maybe your
we've seen
scores
here
could
at
tell
Ball
us.
Beef Liberto.
Is it the first 6 that we've seen here? Yeah, first 6.
Yeah, that's a lovely shot. Using the pace was Alia Weeks of Nevia Webley. One more ball to come for Nevia Webley to finish her spell. And defended by Alia Weeks. After 15 overs, 5 more overs to go in the innings, Nevia Webley has finished her spell and finished her quota of overs. Her figures, 4 overs, no maidens, 28 runs with no wickets at an economy of 7. They seem to have targeted Nevia Webley this innings, but nonetheless, well bowled. She was quite consistent towards the end. She was a bit inconsistent at the start.
Yeah, I think we have seen a total different approach from the Leeward's batting lineup in terms of the captain. She's approaching this innings differently than the one she played yesterday, Asha. I think they've probably asked her to try to bat through the innings. Once she bats all the way, they're going to be in for some good runs. As I said, she looks pretty competent. She has all the shots. So it's just a matter of staying in the wicket. And it's something that I'll urge the young ladies to do. If you want to be, batters, you've got to stay in the wicket, stay between the 6 stumps. Yeah, so it's definitely a conscious effort to try and stay in the wicket for long periods, it looks like, the way she's approaching it.
Yes, that's right. So the most important thing is stay there long enough and runs will come, as long as you're positive. Stay positive, defend positively, look to score, look to get the singles and cash in on the bad balls when they present themselves. As we see another batsman sweeping into the square leg region, getting a single this time, collected quite comfortably by the deep square leg fielder.
I think this play, Asher, what I've not seen from the other batters and the other players, we were not seeing hearing the communication from the middle. But I think we're actually hearing it now from these 2 batters, which is good. The calling and the stay and the weight and that kind of stuff is definitely coming out now. Swept away again, down to the backward square. For a single well fielded down here by the fielder. Yeah, I think the Jamaican captain is doing pretty well, Asha, at this point. Rotating the fielders, rotating the bowlers, changing fielders to different batters. Looks pretty organized in her captaincy.
Yes, I must commend her on her field placements and her rotation of bowlers. I mean, she seems to be quite adept.
Yeah, she has been on top of it from the get-go. She's not waiting for too many things to happen, too many runs to be scored to make changes, and put fielders into different positions. That's pretty good for an under-19 captain as a female.
Yeah, just finding the fielders. It seems to be the Leeward's batsman. Maybe at this stage of the game with 5 overs left, I know you may be looking to go a little bit harder and increase the run rate, but so a top edge by Smitten, and she gets away. An attempted catch by the 3rd man fielder, not getting around to it in time, and they scamper back for 2. So 16 overs gone. The Leeward Islands 72 for 3. The projected score at this run rate is only 90. So if they really want to get to that 100, they're really going to have to pick up the pace at this moment with only 4 overs remaining.
Yeah, well, they'll definitely have to, step their foot on the X if they're gonna get to 100 and 100 and more if they need to. But it doesn't mean all hitting. Actually, you gotta look to run between the wickets, pick up the ones and twos, and then the bad balls put them away. So we see the opening bowler like she's gonna return. Brown, yeah. Mm.
She bowled a good first spell, the Vija Brown. So she's coming back into the attack from the police station end. I probably need to ask one of the locals of Liberta or maybe one of the ground staff if these mangoes are ripe, because these mangoes are calling me, man. No,
Yeah, well,
the trees are laden.
I believe that a few of them might be ripe. Actually, I saw your good friend Johnny, hunting a few yesterday.
Really?
So he had a few in his hands yesterday. So I think they're getting to that stage where they're getting ripe.
I'm gonna have to go down there on the innings break because those mangoes are looking nice.
So you're a good lover of mangoes then, actually.
Most definitely.
All right.
I'm a proponent of people. Oh, the ball has hit the pad. Big appeal to start her.
Good start by Brown,
spell.
second spell. She's looking to bowl down in the crease.
Yeah, looking
That's
to bowl
that's
a
good
lot
thinking.
fuller and target the pads, target the stumps.
Yeah, in the end
That's
of the
what's
innings,
needed.
back end of the innings, yeah.
Yeah, most definitely. But I'm a big proponent, Mr. Joseph, of young people being young people. Go climb trees, go ride bicycles.
Sure.
I do encourage that amongst children, because a lot of young children don't do that anymore. They stay inside. They're on their phone. They're in town.
Well, I don't know, Asha, about you guys in the town here, but in the country, these young guys, they're out and about.
Really?
Yeah, they're riding a donkey somewhere.
Well, maybe I need to move to the country.
Maybe going to the beach, something.
And I need to move to the country then, because.
Ooh, that one kept a bit low, Asha.
Well, I don't think it kept low as much as she should have come forward. A lot of the batsmen so far tend to be comfortable staying back, and I don't think that going back as the first movement, especially when the ball is already bowled, is necessarily the best thing. I think back and across while the bowler loads up is necessary, but they're playing all the balls off the back foot, and that's just not good enough.
Yes. As I said to you, Asha, earlier on there, I think that's going to be an easier shot for them to play, either cut or pull. At this time, at this stage of their careers, I guess it's going to be a work in progress in terms of getting them to come onto the front foot and playing shots off the front foot.
Brown continuing again. Coming back is Jacazia Smitten. No run, just getting a bottom edge. But in this form of cricket, I mean, coming forward would be a best friend, I would like to believe. I mean, there's nobody bowling at express pace that would be able to hit you if they bowl short. So I mean, coming forward should be your first priority. But again, it's a learning stage for these young women. As we see a ball inside edge down to fine leg, and that's a strong arm by
Yeah, pretty strong arm.
by the square leg fielder number 29. She's not listed here. I'm not sure. 29 years, Ashanti Guthrie. Very good arm.
Powerful arm.
Yeah, so we've come to the end of the 17th over. The Leeward Islands 74 for 3. Another tight over bowled by Davija Brown. Only 2 coming off it. The Leeward Islands are running out of steam here in this first encounter of a 2-match day, a double header here at Ball Beef Liberta. A projected score of only 87. Do you think that 87 or 90 or 80 would be enough to defend here, considering that they scored 118 in the first match.
Well, I don't think 118 or more is off the cards yet. It just depends on how they go about these last 3 overs, Asha. I think they need to really. They've got wickets in hand, so you should be able to, launch a decent attack if they're capable of doing that. You see, the rotating of the strike is going to be important, actually. You have to get Weeks on strike more often. She has that sort of repertoire of shots, and she has power too.
Yeah, I do think that she is the more capable of the both batsmen out in the wickets with
Yeah, so she
getting a leg by. So
and she actually brings that presence that caused the captain to make changes in the field for the Jamaicans. Whoops.
and that one has slipped out of the hands of Shamara Hall. A no ball above the waist called by umpire Auguste. So
Final warning.
final warning, and there will be a free hit for Alia Weeks. Alia Weeks 24 off of 32 with 1 4 and 1 6, striking at 75, and she's been batting throughout the innings since the loss of Lewis George in the 6th over. So batting through the innings is one of the top 5, and she advances down the wicket. A slow ball, it seems to be bowled by Shamara Hall, and she misses it. So she misses out on the free hit.
Yeah, credit to the Jamaicans. Asha, they have quite a few free deliveries that we've seen that they've managed to bowl them without anyone scored off them.
And she's sweeping into the leg side again is Alia Weeks, pushing for 2. Miss Smitten has to come back, and she does get back. So 2 runs to the tally. Alia Weeks is going to have to do a majority of the heavy lifting here.
See, Asha, the Leeward players bending over, batters bending over. So here we go, fitness. We spoke about earlier.
Yeah, most definitely.
It's going to take a lot of running between the wickets, and you got to be fit to do that.
A few 2s, and she seems to be blowing off some steam. Is Jacazia Smitten as Alia Weeks hits this ball down the ground for a single. So she moves on to 27.
She's actually struggling to Asha. I see her limping around, so there's some sort of injury around.
Yeah, fitness is important here, especially at these early stages for these young women to get into the wide signal by the umpire. Another run to the tally of the Leeward Islands, and Jacazia Smithen has to, maybe there has to be a conversation between the coach and the current batsman. I'm saying, 12 more balls or 14 more balls left in the innings. We have 7 wickets in hand. You could have a go now, but as we see, Hall in yet again. Defended comfortably is Smithson.
Good take by the young wicket keeper, Asha.
Yeah, she has impressed today, keeping up to the stumps. I mean, she hasn't really given away a lot of byes, so this is very exciting prospect. Is this young wicket keeper, and it does help that the current coach of the Jamaica women's team, Carlton Ball, was a former keeper himself. So really good passing down the information from generation to generation. But that is the end of the 18th over. The Leeward Islands on the 19 women 81 for 3. Shamara Hall completing her overs with figures of 4 overs, no runs for 19 wickets. So
Physio
Alia
is onto
Weeks
the field again.
is down with the physio. I'm not sure. Maybe to get a drink, maybe to get
No, some injury somewhere on
some
the hip,
treatment.
right hip, yeah, or waist, something like that.
Hopefully this doesn't affect her batting for the last 2 overs of the innings.
And struggling on the other side too. So it's like both sides.
Or it could be some cramp. We're not certain. Reggae. That's what we say, Valley. Reggae. Stop it, man. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're back from our short break. Alia Weeks has received her treatment from the physio and will continue batting. And we have Brown, David Brown, continuing from the police station end. So 2 overs left in the Leeward Islands on the 19 women's innings, 12 balls, and I'm sure the goal would be to get above 100, aim for 120. Swinging hard is Alia Weeks into the leg side, inside edge, and they only get a single. So Leeward Islands will be looking to maximize on scoring, looking to run for every ball and to try and find the boundary. The Jamaicans confident, bowling with mid-on and mid-off inside the circle.
Well bowled by Brown.
Yeah, very brave.
Well, if you're playing all the balls from the back foot, Asha, you're not looking to advance forward, so mid-off and mid-on would not come into play.
Agreed. But Jacazia Smitten is going to have to do something and do something quickly here. Currently 10 off of 35.
Oh Lord.
And she's had a bit of a fall. Jacazia Smitten losing her bat in the process.
She looks to be okay.
Yeah, she's all right. She's all right. I'm hoping. But it looks to be a leg bye signaled by the umpire. I'm not certain.
Two leg buys.
2 leg byes, yeah. But coming back for the second, the ball seemed to have hit her in the helmet, and she took a tumble. So hopefully she's okay. The physio is out there with the concussion protocols, as is procedure in the game in 2026.
Yeah, so Brown will continue. Asha. Wide signal by the umpire down the leg side.
Yeah, I think the plan by Jamaica here is to try and bowl as straight as possible. Bowl to the field. They have a deep square leg and a deep mid wicket. So, and a deep fine leg. So, I think the plan is to try and bowl straight. Don't give them room to free the hands. So just getting a bit too straight is Davija Brown.
I think it's actually good captaincy in part of the Jamaican captain, Asha. They're trying as much as possible to keep Weeks out of the strike here. So
there's very smart cricket here by the Jamaican under 19 women. From the quick start that the Leeward Islands would have had, they have brought it back beautifully on the back of some good spin bowling by Adanya. And the ball is in the air. And good catch by number 29, Ashanti Guthrie. Jacazia Smitten had to do something, and maybe this would have been the best for the team at the time. She had to look to score, and she got a top edge there, and that ball only carried as far as the mid-on fielder. So a plan coming together for the Jamaica under 19 women. Well bowled again by Davija Brown. Yes, very good catch there by Ashanti Guthrie. And the Leeward Islands have lost their 4th wicket. Jacazia Smitten goes caught off the bowling of Davija Brown for 10. And the Leeward Islands under 19 women 85 for 4. So in at number 6 for the Leeward Islands, Kenya or Sekenia descent. In at number 6. And I think it's all guns blazing from here for the Leeward Islands. And that's 19 overs completed by the Jamaican under 19 women. 85 for 4 is the score. one more over left in the innings. The Leeward Islands are going to want to capitalize and try and get as much runs as possible out of this final over. Maybe trying to target 100, but it would be a tall ask for the Leeward Islands on the 19s.
Yeah, well, as you said, Asher, they would like to try to get it over 100, but it's not going to be easy. Once Weeks gets off strike, it looks like nothing basically happens. So, unless she's going to look to target the boundaries. Boundary after boundary here.
Well, we're going to have...
and it's more of a leg side approach.
We're going to have Alia Weeks on strike to face the final over of the innings, bowled by Adania Ball. So spin is going to finish the innings from the pavilion end.
Might be. You never know.
And Alia Weeks is swinging hard. They're going to have to come back for two. Is the batsman, and they have settled for one. A top edge by Alia Weeks, looking to swing that into the leg side. Kind of a good length delivery, not as short as Alia Weeks would have hoped. Hit down the ground firmly for one by Descent, bringing Alia Weeks back on strike. So, two singles to start the final over. The Leeward Islands would be hoping for a boundary or two in the final deliveries of this innings.
Well, they have got wickets in hand, Asher, so no reason why they shouldn't, look to target the boundaries in this last over.
So ball in again.
Fielders have been pushed back.
And she connects with that one. Lovely fielding by the mid-wicket fielder to stop that ball. That ball was travelling with some pace to that short mid-wicket fielder. Alia Weeks really hit that hard. Not getting the elevation that she would have liked. I think that she was trying to go over that mid-wicket fielder, but could only muster one bounce. But ball back in again, this time to Descent. Descent is swinging. And they scamper through for a quick single. Just getting on the edge on that delivery there. Beating the keeper slightly. And the 45 fielder collects that and cleans up. So two deliveries left in the innings. Alia Weeks is looking to score a boundary. But the captain, Adenia Boy, it's captain versus captain, looking to negate that. And it's a full toss. Hits straight to the mid-wicket fielder. It could be a run out. And there was no attempt made by Adania Boy. She's shaking the hand. So that ball was thrown with some vigor by that mid-wicket fielder. So final ball of the innings. And an anticlimactic end to the innings. And the Leeward Islands, after 20 overs, have finished on 90 for 4, requiring or setting Jamaica a target of 91 for victory from their 20 overs. The Leeward Islands, top scoring was the Leeward Islands captain Alia Weeks with 31, not out, batting through the innings after coming in the 6th over. Accompanying her was opening batsman Inka Wilson, a very brisk 19 off of 24 with 2 fours, and then Zara Skerritt and Jacazia Spitten with 10 each. The pick of the bowlers for the Jamaica on the 19 females were as follows: the spin twins of Adania Baugh and Sashane Ricketts, with Sashane Ricketts 4 overs, 1 maiden, 2 wickets for 8 runs, and Adania Baugh 4 overs, 1 for 16, slowed down the innings of the Leeward Islands after getting off to a very brisk start, 32 for 1 in the first 5 overs. So once again, the Leeward Islands on the 19 women, 90 for 4, and setting Jamaica a target of 91 for victory. We're going to take a short break here. at the Ball Beef Liberta grounds, and then we'll be back with more live coverage of the Cricket West Indies Under 19 Rising Stars Women's Tournament 2026. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Ball Beef Liberta in St. Paul, Antigua and Barbuda for the Cricket West Indies on the 19 Rising Stars Women's Tournament 2026. We're here back with the Leeward Islands taking on the Jamaica on the 19 women, with the Jamaica on the 19 women winning the toss and bowling first, and the Leeward Islands made 90 for 4 from their 20 overs, setting a target of 91 for victory. To open the bowling for the Leeward Islands, number 13, the captain, Alia Weeks, from the pavilion end. And a good start for her, finding the outside edge first ball, hitting the deck hard and getting an outside edge down to the third man boundary for 1. I am here with my co-host, former West Indies and Leeward Islands batsman, Dave Joseph. Welcome, Dave, to the second innings.
Yeah, well, good start by the Leewards, Asha. Finding the outer edge of the bat by Young Weeks. And as you said, that ball really climbed. Got quite a bit of pace on it too. So, good start again by the Leewards. 1 run down to third man.
Yes, very well bowled again. Back of the length, hitting the pitch hard and rushing the batsman is Alia Weeks. So Shane Ricketts and Tiandra Morgan opening the batting. So Shane Ricketts opening the batting after a beautiful spell of leg spin bowling. 4 overs, 1 maiden, 2 for 8. So she's hoping to carry on with her good performances today and see the Jamaica team home to a win against the Leeward Islands.
Yeah, young Weeks has quite a bit of pace.
Yes, as we would have mentioned yesterday, she seems to be one of the more complete cricketers out of the Leeward Islands, is Alia Weeks. She hits the deck hard and she has very strong action, good follow through, good approach to the crease, all the good makings of a fast bowler. Oh, that's a lovely inviting length there by Alia Weeks, inviting the drive and playing a miss, maybe a bit of movement through the air.
Yeah, she's on about the good spot, the good areas there. Actually, right, just about outside off stump. Well, bowl again.
Yeah, this is a very good start here by the Leeward Islands and by Alia Weeks, challenging the outside edge.
Yeah, so we've got, very good sunshine. Good for cricket today. She misses a run.
So by signal by the umpire
End of
to
the over.
finish the end of the over. So at the end of the first over, very tidy first over by Alia Weeks, the Jamaica under 19 women, 2 without loss. Not much to worry about in terms of the required run rate. I'm sure that as they bat through the innings, runs will come. 4.68 is the starting run rate, so not much to worry about in that regard. Not in a hurry. As we see Lianga Warner, a left arm pacer, opening the ball from the next end. She bowled quite well in the first game against the Windward Islands. So we'll see how she goes again today.
Yeah, I, like to see the left arm quick. So good variety here by the Leewards in terms of their bowling lineup. And
That's a lovely line and length there, inducing the drive. Is Lianga Warner. I would love to see a lot of that, or maybe just a bit closer, targeting the stumps and the pads. But so far, so good. A very good start.
That's a good line to start, Asha, and then work your way in. Rather than bowling, straight, trying to bowl straight, and then you go down the leg side. Ooh.
She's trying to get a bit too straight there. Was Lianga Warner by signal by the umpire. So just wanting to get if I were to be a coach, I would prefer that fourth stump just outside the off stump line. Force the batsman to play, force the batsman to make a mistake. But a ring field with the sole two fielders outside the circle being fine leg and third man. A little change in fielding. So more of a standard square leg and possibly two mid wickets. No ball signaled by the umpire. So free hit. Overstepping the front line is Lianga Warner. So Tiandra Morgan of Jamaica has an opportunity to capitalize on the free hit.
Yeah, she seemingly have this problem, Asha, with the no balls. Yesterday we saw quite a bit of that from her. So hope she gets it right.
Well, good ball. Well bowled by Lianga Warner on the free hit. No harm done. The dot ball. And that's a lovely shot there by Tiandra Morgan. She may have not capitalized on the free hit, but the very next ball, she has played a very good shot, a cut shot, just past point, beating third man for four, short and wide by Lianga Warner, and dealt with accordingly. Good shot.
Yeah, very good shot for four. Asha, but I prefer to see Leeward, taking one of the feeders from the onside over into the offside. Get a backward point and get push that covers, trying to cover a very wide space there. So
well, considering that she's bowling on the leg side, I mean, well, if you take over one of the fielders and
bowling on the leg side, you need to ask her to bowl outside the off stump.
Yeah, most
as
definitely.
A captain, yeah.
Agreed.
Try to push that ball across the batter.
Most definitely. I mean, if you build dot balls and build pressure, something will go in your favor. As we see Warner in again. And a big appeal for LBW. Not out given by the umpire. And that is the end of the second over. 8 for no loss after 2 overs.
Yeah. Leewards have got to be, a little bit more tactical, or they will need to be. as they go through this innings. Not a very huge total, so strategies and tactics will have to come into play. Ooh. Weeks has some pace here.
Yes,
Asha
well bowled again by.
looks to be the quickest of the bowlers we've seen so far from all the teams.
Yeah, most definitely. That's well bowled by Alia Weeks, hitting that back of a length consistently, and just too much bounce for the batsman at the time. Lovely ball again, and now with a bit of shape away from the batsman. This is challenging, very testing bowling by Alia Weeks. Very well bowled.
Yeah, she's under good spot, as you said, Asha. She's hitting the pitch hard, so you've got to be able to good enough to negotiate those balls. That this under 19 level is not going to be easy for these young batters. She's a notch above the rest, looks like to me.
Most definitely. Another good
Oops.
delivery.
Oh wow!
And an unfortunate incident here at the ball beef ground as the Jamaica batsman receives treatment for being struck by a ball. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're back here at Bobby Roberta with the resumption of play after a short delay due to some treatment to the Jamaican batsman. Ali Weeks continuing. Again, another beautiful delivery by Ali Weeks. Outswinging delivery, pitched up, inducing the drive. This is very good bowling by Ali Weeks.
What I can tell you, Asha, she'll need to take a few wickets, peg the Jamaicans back, put them on a bit of pressure.
Yeah, most definitely. Agreed, Dave. So far so good for Alia Weeks and the Leeward Islands. Jamaica only amassing 8 so far, but again, very early in the game.
Ooh, good line. Very good line being bowled here by Weeks.
A beautiful, beautiful over that results in a maiden for Alia Weeks. So, Jamaica after 3 overs, 8 without loss. And Lianga Warner is going to want to back up a captain with just as good of an over as Alia Weeks.
Yeah, well, she'll definitely have to back up her captain, Asha. If the Leewards are going to make a game of it, she'll need to bowl well and try to back her captain up and at least even can take a wicket. That's 4. Pull around, 4 runs.
Yes, good shot by Tiandra Morgan. A bit too short by Lianga Warner. And Morgan latches onto that one and pulls it into the boundary for 4. So Lianga Warner is going to want to back up her captain. A bit expensive from one end while being economical from the other. It's not going to help the cause for the Leeward Islands. Leg by signaled by the umpire. So 5 runs off the first 2 balls of the over. Not what the Leeward Islands would have wanted, but Jamaica going along quite steadily.
Well, as I said to Yasha early on, the tactics and the strategies have got to come into play. I would have brought the fine leg up into the circle and pushed the beat backward square back on the boundary. That's where the balls has been going. We're not seeing the balls actually slipping back, fine leg and that kind of stuff. So the pull shot is going to go just behind square. So push that man on the beat backward square boundary and bring the fine leg in. So right. I said it's difference in terms of strategy and tactics.
But to add to that, I would also maybe take out that extra mid-wicket fielder, put her in the offside, extra cover, and have more protection on the offside.
Well, it's
force the bowler to bowl on the offside.
It's obvious that she's not getting it right, so I would block the score in areas, Asha.
Most definitely.
This is definitely something that we've seen lacking, Asha. We don't see the batters backing up at all. So singles are becoming difficult, and then being able to run the first one and the second one is a much bigger challenge.
Yeah, most definitely. But I do want to take the time to maybe discuss the importance of the longer format of the game, especially in the development of youth cricket, um, going forward for both men and women, because as we would have mentioned before, fitness is a very important part of being a good cricketer, and just to try and split the middle a bit. Uh, as we would know, T20 is the most popular form of cricket currently and probably the most lucrative. But in terms of skill building, in terms of practice and perfecting your craft, I think that a lot of the younger generation, especially youth cricket, needs to play longer format cricket. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, we all can say longer format, but I know the next best thing is going to be money. So the longer you have them here, the more money, Asha, and then I think they can do some work in terms of doing, longer practices in terms of net or more training sessions for them. Try to get them up to speed, you know, more practice games at the longer version, that kind of stuff.
Change in bowling from the pavilion end. Lewis George into the attack after earlier weeks with a bowler initial 2 overs. And starting, they just got 2 down to the fine leg boundary very comfortably, moving on to 16. But I do agree that finances may be problematic for a bigger tournament or a regional tournament such as this. But in the... And dropped by the extra cover fielder. A bit too casual for my liking. Full toss, a low full toss by Lewis George, and pinged to extra cover was Shane Ricketts.
As you mentioned yesterday, Asha, that fielder need to be a bit shorter, and the mid wicket, just as the Jamaicans employ. Short mid wicket, short extra cover.
So as per some of the spectators, they would have let out some groans around the grounds. Just trying to implore and encourage the wicketkeeper to
hang on to the ball.
Yeah, just hang on to that.
She did a good job yesterday, Asha, but something is going wrong today with her. I guess she's just not. Maybe she's just a bit touched too far back in terms of her position, in terms of feeling.
Yeah,
I think she's just a little bit too deep.
Yeah, that could be.
Ball's just pitching just before, so just take a step up and then she'd have the ball, on the full.
Correct. So you would mention that regionally it may be a financial constraint to have. Oh, well bowled. Very well bowled by Lewis George. So close to the stumps. And a near miss. But Tiandra Morgan survives after 5 overs. 1 over left in the power play. Jamaica under 19 women 17 without loss.
Yeah,
Mr. Joseph, I think locally we should I guess invest in the longer format, I think the more cricket that is played for these young children is the higher ceiling they have to improve on whatever they would have learned in practice. But
I'm all for playing the longer version, Asha, but as I was saying to you, that's your next best thing they're going to tell you. Finances are scarce, difficult, but as you say, the more cricket they'll play is going to be better for them. The longer they play is going to be better for them. And as again, it'll improve on their fitness. So whenever they get to that shorter version, it will be even better for them, being fit, ready and agile to go.
Change in bowling from the police station end, number 14 into the attack, and that is Jacazia Smitten.
I think what we're seeing, the young wicket keeper, not to cut you off, Skerrit, fitness is coming into play right here now. She's tired. She's not being able to bend down and stay in that couch position as long as she did yesterday for the first game. So it's actually telling her now, so he's not staying down as long as possible.
Yeah, she's not moving as swiftly as she was yesterday.
Yeah.
So,
Maybe a bit of stiffness and soreness.
yeah, could be because of back-to-back games. So, again, it's all a part of the development of the game, and fitness is one aspect of it as well. But Smitten in once again, relatively good length. Maybe looking for a quick single, said no, was the non-striker. But so Shane Ricketts is going to have to do something now. 2 off of 22 deliveries. Not being able to score as freely as she would have liked.
Yeah, I think the young bowler needs to, keep the stumps in play. Attack the stumps as the Jamaicans did. Quick single taking the Asha. Ball work just for the square.
Yeah, this is what I think is good by the Jamaicans, and I think they would have to do more of this just to ease some of the pressure off of themselves. Look to get those singles, maybe not look for so much power, but play the ball in the gaps and rotate the strike and get into their innings as opposed to just holding on or hanging in.
Well, if you realize the Jamaicans did something that was good, they had 2 men short, which actually stopped the short singles. So you definitely cannot approach that short single. So that's what Leeward will have to do to that man at mid-wicket, or that young lady at mid-wicket needs to come a touch closer, and the one at extra cover. So you eliminate that, quick single there, and then force them to hit the ball over the top.
Well, interesting point. I'm not sure. Well, maybe that is something that the coach would convey to them in a drinks break or whatnot. But at the end of the power play, Jamaica on 19 women, 21 without loss. And as we see the umpire signaling that. So Lewis George to continue from the pavilion end.
Yeah, I think George bowled pretty decent yesterday, and she has continued that way today. Asha.
So a change in field. 4 men out. Well, 4 women out. Cover sweeper. Third man, fine leg and a deep square leg. As we see Lewis George straying down the leg side ever so slightly.
Yeah, George will need to bowl on the off stump a bit more. Yeah, better delivery. She has protection on the offside, Asha, so she'll need to bowl on the offside.
Well, yes, she has protection both sides, but I would say she has more protection on the offside. So I think bowling to the field should be the priority at this point in time. A bit better. A bit better, forcing the batsman to play. So it's going to be a difficult ask for the Jamaican team. Runs are not the problem, but being able to rotate the strike and get there.
Caught
And
wicket keeper.
that's a lovely catch by the keeper. She held on when it counted. And Sir Shane Ricketts has to go, caught behind off the bowling of Lewis George for 3. The Jamaica women losing their first wicket, 22 for 1.
Yeah, brilliant catch taken by Skerritt. Asha. Caught wicket keeper. Bowl George. Yes, I said I think George really looks like she understands what she wants to do with the ball, Asha. 1 or 2 balls might have, slide down leg side, which is, expected at this level. But she has definitely bowled, for most parts, just outside off stump.
Lovely bowling again.
Definitely getting some movement, Asha.
Yes, most definitely, and I'm really, I really do like the length that she's bowling, forcing the batsman to come forward, forcing the batsman to drive. So really keeping her options open, keeping the batter guessing. I do like this.
Yeah, she's definitely moving with that level of confidence now, Prasha. You can see it, how she's moving around, hustling back to her mark. She looks real confident. So she's definitely in a good groove, Asha.
Yeah, I think that wicket would have given her some confidence going forward. Just overcooking that a bit too wide, but we can see what she's trying to do. Trying to get the batsman to drive. The new batsman, Shamara Hall, in at number 3. So a dot ball to end the 7th over. The Jamaican under-19 women 23 for 1, requiring a further 68 runs from 78 deliveries. So far, not too much between the two teams in terms of batting.
Yeah, I think Leeward's in a slightly better position here. Asha, you see a change in the field again. You see a mid-wicket being employed. Deep mid-wicket. Yeah. I don't think you...
continuing.
I think you should look to have the backward square, Asha, on the boundary.
Agreed.
I don't see too many balls going to long off.
No, not at all. So, agreed. Long off should come up deep square like that because a lot of the balls are looking to pull.
Yeah, looking to pull, yeah.
Cross-batted shots. So, agreed. All of this is in time. They will learn. Another shot played into the offside with no run.
Georgia's definitely up the game a notch. You can see Tasha, she's moving around in the field, looking real confident and brisk.
And in the air for a slight second was that ball going out into the leg side. Looking to drive was Tiandra Morgan, but just not getting enough of it to go down the ground and getting an inside edge, which leaves her with just 1. restrictive bowling here by the Leeward Islands, not giving Jamaica an inch. So a lot of dot balls. Tiandra Morgan 10 off of 17. Shamara Hall freshly into the wicket. 4 balls faced without scoring. As they look to get a single here. And a bit of confusion amongst the Leeward Islands players. A quick single taken. Well, not all that quick, but there was a decision made not to throw the ball by the extra cover fielder. So the score moves over, ticking over by another 1. And Jamaica, the under-19 women, are 25 for 1 after 8 overs.
We see a change of bowling, Asha, from this the northern end or Comanche end. Number 7, medium pacer.
So changing bowler from the pavilion end, and number 7, Sakina Descent into the attack.
Wow. That ball was delivered from behind the stumps, Asha, just now. I don't know if it was in that way, but that was definitely delivered from behind the stumps.
Yes, I'm not sure if that's a tactic or that's just... I know this one is a lot closer. An LBW given by the umpire. And what a celebration that is by Sakina Descent, collecting her first wicket with her second ball. Shamara Hall out LBW for 1. The Jamaica women 25 for 2. Bringing in the next batsman, number 7, the captain, Adanya Bor. Very good bowling by...
Yeah, I think that was pretty straight, Asha.
Yeah, very good start by Sakina Descent. She's come on, she's had the control, she's had a bit of pace to her, and that has prized the wicket of the batsman Shamara Hall. So in at number 4 is Adanya Bor, the captain of the Jamaica under-19s women's team, with Sakina Descent with her tail up. So this may be the moment that the Leeward Islands would have been hoping for, to make some inroads into the Jamaica batting lineup, as we see an under edge from Bor down to the third man region for just a single.
Yeah, I like the energy that the Leewards are moving around with, Asha. I think they're sensing something now. The urgency has stepped up. And Descent has been rather on target from the ball 1. Ooh, drop catch at cover. Ooh, missed run out again. I think Skerritt is actually looking to use her pads more than using the gloves in this game, Asha. I don't know why. She has started to try to, put her pads to everything rather than using the gloves. Maybe her back has been a bit sore, not being able to bend.
I think to an extent it's just based on how hard the fielder throws the ball that the immediate response is just to close and let the pads do the work. But a sequence of events that the Leeward Islands would not have wanted, a drop catch and followed by a run being given to the batting team. I mean, that ball was hit with some power. It was hit quite hard. So I'm not going to put too much on the fielder, but that should have been taken. As we see Descent in again. Descent bowling well so far.
Yeah, very good start to this spell by her, Asha. She's been on target for most of this first over.
Again, well bowled by Descent and a good finish to her first over. Jamaica on the 19 women 27 for 2. And the run rate is slowly creeping up for the Jamaican on the 19 team, requiring just short of 6 runs and over. So what is supposed to be a comfortable chase is becoming a bit more difficult as time goes on, as the Leeward Islands put on the squeeze on the Jamaican on the 19 women.
Well, the Jamaican batting has shown to be suspect since yesterday. Actually, they've been bowled out for 40 odd yesterday.
39 to be
39.
precise.
So yeah, so the
they
Jamaicans will want
another
to
single
put up a
here.
better showing today, most definitely.
Well, they'd be hoping to do that. Currently 28 for 2. So I have no doubt that they will better their score from yesterday, but they're going to have to get a move on and start to score. As you see, a full toss bowled by Smitten, worked into the leg side. Good throw by number 7. Now a lot of strength in the arm down there on the square leg boundary, and they only get the single. So 2 runs more to the total, one of the more expensive overs here. 4 runs so far in the first 3 balls for Jamaica. Just 5 runs and over, just around 6 runs and over needed. And if they continue just picking off the singles and the 2s when necessary, it should be a comfortable win here for them. But the Leeward Highlands have something different to say. They're trying to put the squeeze on, and dot balls is going to be the pressure teller here, as there's a ball in the air and dropped by the point fielder. She went with one hand. I don't agree with that at all. I do think that she should have gone with 2 hands, Mr. Joseph.
Yeah, 2 ones are always going to be better than 1, Asha.
I think she may have picked up that a little bit later than she would have hoped.
The end of the over coming up, Asha.
Yeah, the end of the over. 10 overs have gone. We're at the halfway point of the innings. Jamaica on the 19 women 31 for 2, requiring an even 60 from 60 deliveries, 10 more overs at 6 runs and over. So we are going to take a short break along with the players for the drinks break, and we'll come back with more coverage of the Leeward Islands versus Jamaica in the Cricket West Indies Rising Stars on the 19 Championship.
Yeah, so back here at ball beef, descent will continue. Ooh, so no ball signal, full toss over the waist. Yeah, Jamaica 31 for 2. 10 overs to go to get 60 runs. Just on the 10 overs, as a matter of fact. A loud appeal for leg before, but that was probably heading down leg. Another delivery being bowled short, pulled around to deep backward square or fine leg. Descent quite cognizant of the fact that she hasn't been finishing her action, so we are saying that. So she need to finish her action so that the balls will go in the right areas. Another delivery down the leg side, signal wide by the umpire. I think she needs to just take her time a bit and put the ball in the right spot in terms of what's happening at this point. Yeah, better delivery, struck up to cover. Well fielded in the cover department there. So better delivery again. Quick single here, being taken. I think the Leeward fielders need to be a touch closer than where they're starting from. Their starting point is just a bit too far.
Well, I do believe that you could maybe walk in a bit more aggressively.
Yeah, well, if they're not walking in a bit that aggressively, so they need to come a touch closer to cut out that sharp single.
Especially the extra cover
and the mid wicket,
yeah, they need to come a bit closer. Put some pressure on these batsmen. Well bowled again by Descent.
Actually, we have been graced with the presence today of quite a few more spectators than yesterday. So ball beef is a bit of buzz, along with the two teams that are in for the second game.
Yes, a hive of activity out here this Good Sunday, I guess. Everybody's coming in from church and whatnot, so we have a bit more spectators out here because the Saturday in Antigua is for your little errands and your shopping and your thing. So, nothing is wrong with it. It's good. I would encourage a lot of the parents who may not have anything to do. There's no school, so the children are out of school. It's also a weekend. I encourage you to bring your children out, come and watch some cricket, support the young women in their endeavors, and it will just be a good outing for the family. So, for whoever could be listening on the airwaves, you should come out and support in person. It's free, there's no admission cost. Just walk into Ball Beef, buy a few drinks, have some food, and enjoy the cricket and enjoy what these young women are practicing to become the next generation of women West Indies players.
Or you may want to bring along your picnic basket, Sasha.
Well, for some, I would agree, but I'm not going to put it past some people who. What are they going to put in the picnic basket? Because that would mean they would have to cook, innit?
Fruit, Sasha.
Fruits.
Have some water and some fruits. Nice Sunday afternoon.
There's nothing wrong with that at all. So new bowler from the police station end, Sanyana Bujraj. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Another spin bowler, looks to be off spin.
Yeah, well, she need to line it a bit, Asha, at least keeping the stumps in play.
Yeah, she just needs to line it up. I mean, bowl right there. All that is needed for the rest of the game is to keep it on a good length, around middle or off stump, and force the batsman to make the mistake. And they're going to eventually. But if not, it's going to be a dot ball. But looks to have a very nice action. This is the first that I'm seeing of the young Bujraj. Very nice off-spinners action. Up on the toes, coming over the top, as opposed to kind of a slight angle in the arm. So it looks to be a very solid action. Very repeatable action. Jamaica scampers through for another leg by. So what do you think that the team meeting would have been for Jamaica at the halfway point, considering that it's essentially a runner ball now from here on out?
Well, I guess they'd have to look to pick up the scoring rate. You know, but the question is who's going to do it. But definitely they need to be getting, at least some more runs.
Because the run rate is going up. 8 overs left in this first encounter. Do remember that we have a double header here at Ball Beef Liberta.
We see the captain coming back into the attack, so it's going to make it a little bit even more difficult for Jamaica to get runs.
Yes, you're right. Alia Weeks returning into the attack from her preferred end. But yes, match number 2, we see Guyana will take on Trinidad and Tobago in that encounter. But we're firmly focused on this one. Alia Weeks continuing into the pads. First ball. Umpire says not out, probably going down leg. And this is not looking good. It's a slight limp here from Alia Weeks. I'm not sure if it's the same issue she had when she was batting, the hip area.
Yeah, I think she was actually limping when she was batting, so I knew this was going to be a little bit of a problem for them in the bowling department. Ooh!
Very well bowled by Alia Weeks. Getting a ball to rise off of a length and getting the outside edge. If the keeper would have taken that, I am sure many fast bowlers would have been proud. That is a real fast bowler's wicket. I love to see that. This is really one for the future, Alia Weeks.
Yeah, she's hitting the deck pretty hard, Asha, and the ball is actually taking off.
And followed up by a Yorker to Adanya Ball. So this is really good bowling here by Alia Weeks. She's been really on the money today with bat and with ball. Scoring 31 off of 39. Batting through the innings and now doing the heavy lifting with the ball so far.
Yeah, she definitely looks a class act, Asha, in terms of
class above the rest.
Entire cricket, batting, bowling, fielding.
But no, this would be the major concern that I would have. If she intends to bowl herself out now, that would leave some overs behind of her. That would leave 5 overs left without their strike bowler.
Yeah, I think what's happening, Asha, I think the injury might have been playing a part on her, so she's just trying to get her overs in because I think the injury is actually affecting her, so she's looking to get it in, probably take a wicket or two and set Jamaica back. And then probably she can, I believe she's going to leave the field based on what's happening here.
Well, let's hope not, and that she's fit. And a quick single pressuring the mid-on fielder, number 02, it looks like. A quick single by Dania Ball and Tiandra Morgan. So the run rate is climbing steadily here at Ball Beef Liberta, 42 for 2. Required run rate of 6.8, almost 7 runs and over. Jamaica need a boundary here to kind of calm things down a bit. Wide, just down the leg side. You may be right that that little injury may be affecting her, and she's just trying to push through, get through the overs.
Get through overs. Yeah, because
that may not be recommended because it could be that she could make it possibly worse, but nonetheless, well bowled.
Asha, I must tell you, our scorers here are more excited than the players.
Yes,
they're actually shouting every delivery here.
It's all love for the game here in Antigua. We love the cricket, whether you're playing or scoring or otherwise. We do love the cricket here in Antigua. But I really want to see better from the Leeward Islanders in terms of singles being run inside the 30-yard circle. I mean, those shouldn't be runs, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, the coach just had a chat with them just now at the break, so I thought that was one of the things they should be, discussing. Closing down on the Jamaicans. They haven't really been hitting any boundaries. They're just getting the ones and twos around the circle, so you need to close them down.
Buzraj continuing. Pulled into the leg side by Adania Ball. They could be looking for 2. There's a fumble, but 2 is not going to happen. So singles may be able to do it for singles, and 2s and wides may be able to do it for Jamaica. They're keeping it within touching distance, just about to run a ball. 46 required off of 41 deliveries. Hit into the leg side again, this time to the mid-wicket fielder. And it's a rolling dive stopped by Lewis George.
Well fielded in the deep.
Well fielded in the end. Just coming off a bit, those 2 fielders out there in square leg and mid-wicket, just coming off a bit. So dot balls are going to be as important as gold here, and wickets even more valuable for the Leeward Islands currently. These 2 batsmen have been batting for quite a while. They seem to be set, seem to be comfortable at the crease. Partnership currently 23 off of 33 deliveries, so they've been together long enough. They have an understanding of their ability in running between the wickets. So they're going to have to put a clamp on it, is the Leeward Islands. So far, 4 runs off the over. So they're definitely trying to keep up with the run rate around 6.
Yeah, run out chance. Asha?
Yes, exciting times here in the commentary box.
Yeah, it's
courtesy of our scorers. I mean, this is what cricket is all about. It's a learning curve for these young ladies. So hopefully when we see them again, if we see them again, we should see some improvement. But they are still fighting, still trying.
Yeah, it is. Running between the wickets is stepped up the ante here, Asha. Warner can come into the attack. So another bowling change. Asher Warner is going to come back. Left arm.
Yeah, so it's only 1 over and off for the captain Alia Weeks. Maybe the right decision, not to damage or make the injury any worse.
So I think they were just trying to peg the Jamaicans back. Just keep pegging them back. With your better bowlers. Warner will actually try to do the same as a captain. Try to peg them back a bit. Trying to stop them from scoring. Ooh.
Not having a good day in the office is the keeper. She has to continue to fight on. Not having a good day in the office, but it can always be better. So Jamaica still within touching distance, not allowing for that required run rate to creep above 7. So 3 runs off the first ball of this 14th over. Only 5 overs left after this. The game is coming down. As a former captain and current coach, how would you handle this situation in terms of the Leeward Islands?
Yeah, well, as you see, the Jamaicans have been picking up singles quite freely, Asha. So you need to close them down. Get your feelers in, close them down. Maybe you'll get a run out or two somewhere. And hopefully that will work for you because they're not hitting any boundaries. So you need to just close them down from getting those singles. Just get a few full feelers in a little bit closer. And, stop that.
Well, you were right because there's only 2 boundaries hit in this innings. And both 2 boundaries came from Tiandra Morgan. And the last boundary would have been hit some 5-6 overs ago. So
yeah, that's it.
So singles and 2s and wides are clearly doing it. Extras
as I
are doing it for Jamaica.
When we start, it's going to be a tactical game. Actually, the score is not a big total. So it's just strategy and tactics is going to work for you.
Yeah, 20.
And then you try to close those areas and you should be in a good position. 20
extras so far in the Jamaican innings. Not as it's not what Leewards would have wanted at this point in time, but well fielded by Lianga Warner off our own bowling. Just pressing down the ground was the batsman, but for no run. And I do think Jamaica is just buying time at this point. They're just waiting for Leeward Islands to make the mistake.
Yeah, well, looks very much like that. And once Leewards can, keep them pegged back, they'll be. There's a loud appeal for caught behind. All the Leewards players were up. Not out, says the umpire.
Full toss by Lianga Warner to end the over. Not being able to cash in was a Dania ball, just comfortable in playing that ball down, playing out the over. After 15 overs, 5 overs to go. The Jamaica under 19s are 52 for 2, requiring 39 from 30 deliveries. The run rate now creeping up close to 8 runs and over. Maybe one good over. 2 boundaries would be needed just to bring that back down.
Yeah, but as you see, they're not getting that boundaries that they're looking for, Asha. So I think the Leewards is still in a good position. Just they need to block that single and then force them into the big shot, and then you probably might get a chance or two coming your way. So George is gonna return from the police end or the northern end.
Yes, that's correct. George returning for her second spell. Previous spell, 2 overs, 1 wicket for 4 runs. Very economical. She's looking to repeat that dose with this second spell.
Yeah, ring of feelers for George. Or we see one being pushed back now to fine leg, I think.
See, well, I don't necessarily agree with this field. We haven't seen anybody hitting any balls down the ground. So I don't think the long off and long on fielders would be necessary at this stage of the game. So 3 runs off the first ball. Tiandra Morgan looking to go big over the mid-wicket region, getting enough bat on it to beat the mid-wicket fielder. And a misfield by the wicket keeper allows them to get through to 3. So this is going to be a test of nerves for these two teams. Who can hold their composure till the end?
Oh, shots. Wow.
This seems to be a tough one here, is Tiandra Morgan. A tough cookie. A full-blooded throw, an attempt at the stumps by the third man fielder. And just getting her on the shoulder, it looks like. But she's all right, ready to bat, ready to face up.
She wants to get on strike, as it seems. So, looking for big things from her.
Yeah, they're running quick singles here. And again, looking to hit the ball straight down the wicket. And a misfield by the mid-wicket fielder. So, runs have been scored off of all misfields so far for this
the pressure is on, Asha.
The pressure is on. It's truly a test of nerves for these final 5 overs. So 5 runs so far off the first 3 balls of the over. They're in line with the run rate so far. Just playing down a Dania ball. 25 off of 39 for Tiandra Morgan, really being an anchor for this innings. Adania Barr accompanying her, the captain, looking to see this one through for her team.
Yeah, Asha, the pressure is definitely on. It's telling on the Leewards.
Yes,
batters are scoring through for singles, and Leewards players not keeping their cool.
Yes, the Leeward Islands just need to calm down a bit. Maybe they need to slow down the game, just to get a bit of composure back. But it seems to me that as soon as the ball leaves the pitch for the Jamaican under-19s, they're going to have a run. They're going to attempt a run. But after 16 overs, 6 runs off of that over, Jamaica under-19 went 58 for 2. 8.2 runs, 8.25 runs and over is required from here on out for Jamaica to clinch this. So it's looking like it's firmly in the hands of the Leeward Islands.
Asha, you gotta be careful with your assessments very early. It's too early to call Asha. Descent is back into the attack, and she would need to you keep it pretty tight.
And it's caught and bowled. The pressure was telling for Dania Ball, trying to push this one over the bowler's head and can only reach as far as the bowler's hands. So, Teandra Adania Ball goes caught and bowled by Sakina Descent for 8 off of 25 deliveries. Jamaica 58 for 3.
Asha, this is serious stuff. The batters just leave the square and the incoming batters already taking their guard. This is serious stuff. The Jamaicans are looking to get these runs.
I was not even aware
Yeah, she
that
was
the
out
batsman was already taking
She
guard.
was out there in a flash. So let's see what
Wow.
she's gonna do.
So Ashanti Guthrie, she means business. First ball, looking to cut, getting a thick outside edge, and a single first ball. So Ashanti Guthrie means business, coming in at number 5 for Jamaica on the 19. She got out there quite quickly and is looking to maybe up the tempo and steer her team home.
Yeah, the body language speaks well. Sending the message to the Leewards that I mean business here. Trying to get these runs. Well, bowl by Descent. Very good line, good length. Yeah, very good bowling attack by the Leewards.
And Guthrie has come out to have a hit here. She's going to try her very best to rope back in this total and try and get Jamaica over the line. So we have a very interesting equation, 29 from 19 deliveries. Ashanti Guthrie and Teandra Morgan looking to put together the partnership to bring this home. Descent bowling well, 2 wickets for 11 with one more ball to go in her third over.
Yeah, I think the Leewards could do well with another man in the onside, Asha, and deep mid wicket. We haven't seen many balls or any balls that are going through cover. So you need to protect that area. That area you need to protect.
Most definitely, and as you've said that, they're looking to get a single out to that same deep mid-wicket region. I personally think that they should have gotten back for 2, but they settled for 1. After the 17th over, 5 runs off of that over, the Jamaica under 19 women 63 for 3. So the run rate is going up steadily. 9.3 required, 28 from 18. And you would have mentioned to me that that last game that you should not count your chickens before they hatch, but I would like to believe that this is firmly in the hands of the Leewards.
Well, that's your belief, Asha, but it's never done until it's in the bag. So again, Leewards, I think a single is not going to trouble you at this point, so you need to protect your boundaries. again, I would like to see the man in the deep backward square boundary. Bring in your mid off and push one back. You still have what? 5 in the circle. You should be able to get another one out. Well fielded at backward point. As again you said, as I said, Asher, you need to close the Jamaicans down. Get a bit closer to the pitch. Stop them from getting these easy singles, and then you'll have them playing a bigger shot. You'll have a chance of getting them out. Wide signal by the umpire, Asher. Yeah, I think this young off spinner here, Asha, needs to regroup. She just had a chat with the captain, so let's hope she can pull it back and try to bowl a better line.
Yeah, maybe the pressure is telling for the young Boujraj.
Ooh.
The pressure seems to be telling, yes, most definitely. Maybe just trying a bit too hard is the young off spinner.
Yeah, well, consistency is going to be a huge thing, Asha. Okay, now we see it happening, see? The previous over was bowled without a cap. Now she's taking it off.
Yes. The pressure
It
is
affects
telling.
the action, I can
The
tell
pressure,
you.
the pressure is telling.
Better delivery.
So no ball called by the umpire. This is a
Free hit.
this is a horrifying over. I'm sure this is not the over that she would have wanted to bowl.
Oh.
This a misfield by the keeper has so ladies and gentlemen, it seems to me that pressure is telling here. Pressure is telling here at ball beef Liberta. Keeper not being able to hold the ball, and well bowled by Boujraj, and the run rate is come down slightly to less than 9 now. So far this over has been quite expensive. They're hoping to just bowl a few dot balls, calm this down a bit, And it's wide again by...
Yeah, well, she's
Wide not signaled by the
gotten
umpire.
away with that one there just now, Asha. Thought that was another
I
wide.
think so. So 8 runs off of this over so far. Looking to close out the over is Bujraj. And hit hard to the extra cover fielder is Guthrie, but to no avail. So they've escaped the over with 2 dot balls back to back. So Jamaica 71 for 3, requiring 20 runs from the last 2 overs. Is it possible, Mr. Joseph?
Anything is possible, Asha. As you saw that last over, that was bowled just now, so you know that anything is possible. So Weeks back in the attack, Asha. Captain of the Leewards, opening bowler and the better of the bowlers. So let's see if she can peg them back and keep the scoring rate even higher. Put the Jamaicans under more pressure. You need a deep fine leg. Yeah, deep fine leg, I think, yeah. I think you still need a third man too.
So, ladies and gentlemen, the tension is rising here at Ball Beef Liberta. Spectators, fans, and players alike are getting involved in the game. By first ball, Alia Weeks coming back into the attack, looking to break this partnership because 19 from 11 deliveries. Weeks in again. It's full and straight, hitting her on the pads, and they scamper through for a leg by. So the fielders not helping their bowler at all. So it looks like Jamaica is going to run for everything at this point in time. 4 fielders outside the circle. Fine leg, third man, cover, and deep square leg. So I think the plan is to bowl full and straight for Alia Weeks. 18 off of 10 required. And full and straight again, well bowled by Alia Weeks. Very good death bowling.
Yeah, definitely good bowling, Asha. She's been down in that crease for this last over that she's started here. And she's been doing a good job. It's good to see that the young players know what's required and what time.
Yes, she definitely is thinking the game here, Mr. Joseph. She's definitely thinking the game. So in again, looking for full and straight. Maybe not as full as she would have liked. And it's a misfield by the mid-off fielder. They're looking for 2. Lianga Warner throws in the ball to the keeper.
Run out.
And they're appealing for a run out. The umpire says no, and they get back for 2. So a misfield by the fielder at mid-on. Number 7, it looks to be Descent. And the mid-off fielder, Lianga Warner, ran across to try and collect and throw back to the keeper. So it's all happening here at Ball Beef Liberta. 16 from 8 required. The run rate up at 12, but it's not over until the final ball is bowled. Weeks in again. And it's bowled. Tiandra Morgan goes by Alia Weeks. And that is the wicket that the Leeward Islands would have wanted. Tiandra Morgan, the anchor for the innings, 28 off of 50 goes. Bowled by Alia Weeks. So it's looking a bit bleak here for the Jamaica under-19s. 16 required from 7 deliveries.
Yeah, that was a pretty good delivery there from young Weeks. As I said, she was been down in the crease for the top half of the over, and she's actually keeping the stumps in place. So that was a good thing for her. So the batter missed and she hit. So well bowled. Yeah, I just think that they need to protect the boundaries. Yeah. Long on being pushed back. I think fine leg and third man needs to go back on the ropes. Don't let them get away with the boundary, Asha. It's a new batter, so let's hope they can keep it there and bowl a few dot balls to her.
Yes, the new batsman Zaria Blair in at number 6. And she's swinging hard and she's swinging through the leg side, and that's 4. First ball. She's not playing any games, and number 41, that is a very good shot. I'm not sure why the Leeward Islands brought in the deep square leg fielder, but nonetheless, a brilliant display of bowling by Alia Weeks is tainted by just one boundary of her final ball of a spell. Alia Weeks finishes with figures of 4 overs, 1 maiden, 1 for 13, and 12 is required from the last over, just like yesterday.
2 runs for ball, Asha. As I told you, that too early to call. You gotta make sure you keep your eyes on these young players.
This was the exact same scenario as yesterday that they required 12 from the final over, and the Leeward Islands won by only 1 run. So to bowl the final over of this innings from the police station end will be Cassina De Saint. She's bowled well so far, 3 overs, 2 for 12 at an economy of 4. So assuming that she remains within her economy, the game should be won comfortably by the Leeward Islands, but never say never.
No, this field placement needs to be changed, Asha.
Yes,
you need to get somebody back on the back of square boundary.
Most definitely, somebody needs to be on the pull shot. Nobody has hit any balls past the 30-yard circle through mid-on and mid-off for the entire game. So I think this may have been an error by the Leeward Islands. I hope the coach is saying something to her just before she bowls the ball. So they've sent out cover and brought in square leg. That's an error by... I do hope that the coach says something about that, because they have been pulling well all day. So hopefully the scent is going full and straight, and she pulls through the same leg side field, and it goes for 4. The first ball, 4 runs, 8 off of 5. They've been pulling well all day through the leg side, and the leg side field has been brought up. There's no square leg, no deep mid wicket, and 4 first ball.
Yeah, we haven't seen any balls being hit straight, Asha, so you need to protect your leg side boundaries. I think you could actually bring up long off and push George back on the boundary still. You need to get 2 on the boundary.
Yes, considering that they have been played majority on the leg side for the entire day, that is what is required. But again, descent in again, and she's hitting up in the air. They're running. Descent is settling on there and is dropped.
Wow.
The stumps may have gotten in the way there for descent. 2 fielders converging on that catch, and it is spilled. So 1 run to the batsman. The equation 7 from 4. It's a test of nerves here at the Ball Beef Park in Liberta. 7 runs required for Jamaica, and descent just has to bowl 2 dot balls, and the game is going, surely will be over. So again, they've now brought in the cover fielder, sent back, and they've done the right thing here. They've sent back square leg, and now they have square leg and fine. Well,
that should have been the
that's 2
for the first ball,
essentially.
The first ball, Asha.
Well, I'm not necessarily understanding, because now there's 2 square legs almost out. 1 in front, the umpire, 1 behind.
That should have been the field, Asha.
That should have been the field. I agree.
Balls, yeah.
And bring in. So they may be listening to you, because they've now brought in long off. So
yeah, that's simply common sense. They don't need to listen to me, Asha.
Yes, you've heard it here, folks, guys. Former captain of the Leeward Islands, former West Indies player. Experience is key. The equation 7 from 4 balls. Descent in again. It's full. And it's through the keeper's legs. And it runs away down the hill here at Ball B for 4. And drama here at Ball B, Liberta. Casina. Sakina Descent bowling a beautiful delivery, beating the batsman. And the wicket keeper not getting the gloves down in time, allowing the ball to pass straight through. And it is 4 byes, the equation 3 from 3 deliveries. It is all happening here at Ball Beef Liberta. Your thoughts, Dave?
Yeah, well, Leewards will have to regroup and come again. They'll have to feel better for the last couple of deliveries, last 3 deliveries. Asha?
Most definitely 3 deliveries left in this game, 3 runs required. It's anybody's game here. It's anybody's game here at Ball Beef Liberta. The spectators on the stands on their feet over under the neem tree. There's pressure on here. The sand has to hit her marks. Hit her marks, and it's line and length required. And it's hit into the leg side. It is beating the mid-wicket fielder. Lewis George has no chance. And Zaria Blair, the hero for Jamaica on the 19, hitting a 4 on the 4th, the second to last ball of the innings. And Jamaica has done it. They have defeated the Leeward Islands by 6 wickets and claiming the first encounter of a doubleheader here at Ball Beef. Well done to the Jamaican team.
Yeah, you'll have to say well played to Jamaica. They have really kept the nerves, Asha. They started pretty slowly, but they worked their way back into the game at the end. Yeah, good stuff by the Jamaicans. You know, it was very poor feeling on behalf of Leewards. You know, they have themselves to blame. You know, I thought that the coaches could have, done a bit better in terms of just sitting in the dugout and not saying anything, but that's what they chose to do. So tough luck to them.
Yes, I mean, Jamaica has commendations to be made. Kudos to them, but I must say the Leeward Islands really didn't help themselves in the field as much as they should have. That 4 byes given away in the last over really was the straw that broke the camel's back of the run chase for the Leeward Islands in their defense. So at this point in time, again, the Jamaica on the 19 women beating the Leeward Islands on the 19 women with 2 balls to spare, beating them by 6 wickets, with Tiandra Morgan really 28 off of 50 deliveries, the anchor for the innings, and Ashanti Guthrie and Zaria Blair, 2 4s for Zaria Blair, which really carried them home. So well played to the Jamaican under 19s. We're going to have a short break here, and then we're going to bring you match number 2 of today's Super Sunday doubleheader, where the Trinidad and Tobago under 19 women will take on the Guyana under 19 women. Any final thoughts, Dave Joseph?
Yeah, as I said, kudos to the Jamaicans. They played pretty well. As I said, tough luck again to the Leeward. They fielded poorly, and that sometimes will cost you the game, as you see in this case today. Yeah, so the wicket keeper, what's her name? Skerritt?
Skerritt, I think.
I guess she's the daughter of Ricky Skerritt, who used to be the president of the West Indies Cricket Board at one point. She's actually struggling with it. She did pretty poorly today, so she's being consoled by her father down there. She's crying, so let's hope she can come back from it.
Yeah, it's all a part of the game, the lovely game of cricket, of glorious uncertainty as we know it here. So that's it for us here from game number 1. We're going to take a short break, and then we'll back with coverage of game number 2 between Trinidad and Tobago and Guyana female on the 19.